This right here is the 2024 GMC Yukon standard wheelbase AT4. As you can see, it's pretty big. And I mean, this has been going on for over 20 years right now in the full-size SUV. Us Americans, we love them. But we want to see how in 2024, how the GMC Yukon stands out from the Ford Expedition and even the Chevy Suburban. I just want to say here a special thank you to the GMC Cadillac Chevy here in Amman, Jordan, Abu Khadr Automotive, for letting me spend time with this GMC Yukon. Starting off here in the front, as you can see, we get the LED headlights pretty much in every other lineup of the GMC Yukon. LED fog lights down low, but the AT4 gets a higher front bumper and skid plates underneath, as you can see right there. Gets a more hollowed out grille, and you get the front camera for GMC's 360 camera system. If you've seen my video of the GMC Sierra Denali, you should know what I'm talking about. And coming over here to the side, now this is the AT4, so it gets Goodyear Wrangler Territory tires, gets 20-inch wheels. On the Denali Ultimate, they get 22-inch wheels. And here's pretty much the full side view with the GMC Yukon AT4. It's pretty big. This does have power side steps. This is the V8. I don't know which V8, the 5.3 or the 6.2. It's one of the two. I can't really tell. You could also get a 3-liter diesel with this. Here is the back end, kind of squished up to the wall. And if we open up, okay. You can see, now this is not the XL, but a good thing over the previous generation Yukon, or the generation before the previous generation, is that you get way more room. And you also get power folding seats. I will demonstrate that later. Now, as you can see, I'm gonna open the door, and this is a nicely appointed interior for the most part. I mean, if you look at the doors, you get this kind of like carbon fiber looking trim, nice door handles, nice leather trim on the doors. Now, this is not a Denali, but this is an AT4, and it still gets a pretty nice interior, actually. I really like this interior. Honestly, this is, if you don't want to get the Denali Ultimate and spend 100 grand, get the AT4. It still comes with a nice interior, and it's stepping in. You can see you get a really nice animation on both of your screens. And here's the steering wheel. Again, it does not say Denali. This is not a Denali. Really nice leather wrapped. And there's a cool trick I actually want to show you with the center console. So you see there are a bunch of buttons up here. These are to raise and lower the third row. But, okay, I don't think it has this feature, but there is a cool feature where the center console slides back. This doesn't have it, unfortunately. I think it's only on the Denalis. But either way, I am not going to power on the vehicle. I am going to turn on the accessories. There we go. Now you can see your full digital gauge cluster. Now again, I am in Amman, Jordan. I am not in the US, so this is all in kilometers. It's a metric system. And it's pretty configurable for the most part. I mean, I've been through a lot of these GM digital gauge clusters. They're really nice for the most part, you know. And here's the screen. Now with the Denali, you typically get a large screen. This is the AT4. It gets pretty much the same size screen, except it's mounted this way on the dash. Soft touch leather on the dash. The orange stitching. Here you notice you get all of your climate controls. You get heated and ventilated seats. The cool thing about the heated and ventilated seats, I mentioned it in my Sierra Denali video, is you could choose the entire seat to be heated or just a backrest. So if you know you don't want your butt to be heated, you could just press this button. And you also get cooled seats. You get a 10-speed automatic transmission. And the weird thing about this, guys, I really hate this. With the Sierra Denali, you get paddle shifters mounted on the back of the steering wheel. I mean, this is literally the exact same steering wheel besides paddle shifters you get out of the truck. Except if you want to shift gears yourself, you have to click the L. I mean, you have to click the L, obviously, but you have to press the plus and minus button. Guys, this is kind of weird. So, like, you're speeding, and you want to upshift. Tick, tick. So weird. GM, don't take this, seriously. Add paddle shifters on the back of the steering wheel for the Yukon. You have it in the truck, add it to the Yukon. It kind of makes sense. We have GMC's 10.3-inch infotainment system, I believe. It's really responsive. We had it in our Sierra Denali before we actually sold it. We sold that thing a long time ago. As you can see, it comes with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It does come with a 360 camera system. I just don't want to turn it on right now because you have to have the engine running in order for that to happen. I don't want to turn on the engine in here because I'm in the showroom and I don't want it to smell like poisonous gas in here. You get this weird shifter again. And the steering wheel here, I'm going to mention it again, feels really nice. But, like, there's a little bit of play with this stuff around here, but other than that, feels really nice. Power adjustable. You can see with the mirrors. Power folding, obviously. And here's an overview of the front seat. Here's the key. And come on, GMC, give us a nicer key. I mean, put the AT4 logo here instead of the GMC logo. And if it said Denali, I would say put the Denali logo, especially the Denali Ultimate, because this is like $100,000 luxury SUV for the Denali Ultimate. This is like 79 grand. At least give us a nicer key fob than this. Please, GM, please give us a nicer key fob than this. And speaking of the key fob, lock, unlock, panic button, remote start. You could open the tailgate or open half of the tailgate, which I will explain later. So get a wireless charging pad. And let's move on to the back. To mention, lighting controls, 4-wheel drive, parking brake, auto start stop, which is really annoying when you turn on the vehicle at first. I wish it stays off. If I were to own this vehicle, I would just do a delete for that. Parking sensors, 360 camera system, detect off. That's really interesting. I've never seen this in the American Yukons, but it is what it is. Hill descent control, it's an AT4. Traction control and lane keep assist. You get a head-up display. I don't know if you can actuate it right now. I'll actuate it later, but yeah. And air suspension. This is really nice. This is one of the very few Yukons I have seen with air suspension. Bose premium sound system. And let's move on into the back seat right here. Now, this does have a bench seat. More and more full-size SUVs are moving on to captain's chairs, unless you get the really base model. And stepping up into the second row of the GMC Yukon AT4, man, I gotta say, it's a full-size SUV, so you get a lot of room. Me at 5'8", it's really nice in here. You get your third zone of climate control, and I want to mention the coolest feature here, backseat TVs. Sorry. Really excellent system. This is actually among the largest you will find in the full-size SUV segment. These support YouTube. They support pretty much everything, honestly. And you have an HDMI port. So that means you could plug in your Xbox in here and play. This is not the captain chair model. So you could pull down this cup holder armrest. You also have a little cubby here, 2 cup holders. Now, let's move on to the third row because, guys, it's a full-size SUV, so I want to see how the room is in the third row. If it was an extended wheelbase Yukon, I'm sure it would be a little bit better, but we'll see about it. Now, hopping out. For some reason, they had the child lock on. I don't know why. Hopping out to check out the third row in the GMC Yukon AT4. This is among the easiest systems to use for third row access. Pull this lever once, pull it again. Seat goes all the way forward, and it gives you this absolutely massive opening to get in. Like, it's really easy for me to get in. And now hopping in the third row, I want to sit behind here. And as you can see, it's not the best, but I'm actually really comfortable here. I would be comfortable here on long road trips. Again, it would vary depending on how tall you are. But this is a really nice place, actually. Well, not the nicest, but as you can see right here, we do get... Okay, this is not padding. The Chevy Suburban has it, but not this. We do get a cup holder here, a cup holder there. And really rare to see, actually not really rare, but you do not commonly see charge ports on either side. The GV80 with the third row, with the mid-trim level GV80, only has one charge port. I think none. But it's nice to see two USB-C charge ports back here. Out of the third row is easy. I want to demonstrate it right now because I can't close the door, because if I close the door on myself, yeah, I'm trapped in here. The child lock is on. I don't want to mess around with their cars. But you press this button right here. That's all you have to do to get out of the third row. This is among the best systems. Now, coming into the rear, opening the tailgate with my key. Well, not my key, but with the key. And I want to mention the half opening tailgate in the beginning of the video. So I press this button with the bigger line on there. Tailgate will open like normal, as expected. But I press the lower button. You've seen it right there. It opens only the back glass. So if you just want to like stick something in there, you don't have to like open the entire tailgate. You will wait. It's a power tailgate. You could just stick it in here and you're good to go. But now opening the normal tailgate. Showed you the cargo area here. Nothing really interesting or special, but I want to show you the power folding seats. And by the way, I'm going to give credit for GM for putting an outlet there. Again, you press these buttons right here and you fold down the third row, but I want to fold down the second row first because you could go into these buttons and fold down the second row as I will demonstrate. You fold down the second row. And I want to fold down the third row just to show you the space. Okay, the other seat's stuck, but you get the point. You can see it is really massive in here. And you could see that TV. It's really excellent. It's really massive back here. I bet you could feel like at least 3 people in here, the size of me. And raising the third row seat back up, you cannot automatically raise the second row seat up. That's another drawback. And I will put that in the list of my drawbacks in this video once I close the tailgate. Not to mention, panoramic sunroof. Oh no, the drawback is, you know, yeah, it's a nice SUV, it's a nice luxury SUV, but you do not get the leather textured padding as you saw in the truck. You know, you do get more storage coverage as a matter of fact. It's the SUV, obviously, but the interior is just a little bit cheaper than the truck. And another drawback is, you know, this just goes to the entire Yukon lineup, is that you do not get the 13.4-inch infotainment system. That would be so nice to see, especially for a family SUV at this price point. And also, I want to mention, this is for both the truck and the SUV. Get a digital rear view mirror. You will imagine actually how many kids you're going to be hauling in this thing. So you want to be able to see out the back. I mean, visibility right now is like not terrible, but it's definitely not good, especially with all of the seats up in the back. And also GM. This is kind of a weird shifter. It's a nice transition from the big column shifter you used to get in the SUV, but honestly, I would much rather prefer the column shifter than this weird thing right here. And I would also prefer the column shifter on the truck, because if you got in an emergency, watch what's going to happen. So let's just say the engine blew up for whatever reason, and you needed to shift into neutral for emergency purposes. Foot on the brake, it does not shift. It's going to say conditions not correct for shift, but it will not shift. So, you know, GM, you have to figure out a way for this, because we don't want to dig under and, you know, find the neutral release. So please, GM, have that as a safety concern. And also, the cheap material here, the plastic, this does come with an ashtray, but the cheap material here that you guys use, like, make this a little more high quality. I appreciate the chrome on the cup holder, but make this a little more high quality, please, GM. It's not really, you know, it's not really that appointing, especially for a luxury SUV like this. And this goes to all of the Yukon lineup, maybe except the SLE. Another drawback is, you want to turn on the front wipers, you just turn them on from here, nothing really crazy. But it's just how overly complicated this stock is. I mean, GM, you literally have a shifter right here instead of putting a column shifter right there. I get it in the other generation Yukon, but like, look at how much space you have. The Cadillac Escalade has it, but this doesn't. And again, this competes on level of the Cadillac Escalade, especially the Denali or the Ultimate. You use this to actuate your front windshield wipers, but your rear windshield wipers, like, this is way too complicated, especially for some people. This is the button. Come on, GM. You could do better. And finally mention that this is one of the stupidest reasons why you should not put a grab handle for the driver's side. It doesn't make sense. The truck has it, so should the SUV have it. And again, with the 13.4-inch infotainment system, the truck has it, so does the SUV should have it. To be fair, the Denali gets the screen somewhere integrated right here. I don't really like how this is integrated, because it looks like it's just tacked on there, like a generic unit. And also, what does this storage cubby have to be used for? I mean, yeah, I get it. It's pretty deep, but it's not going to be used for anything other than to put your key in there. So, actually, this is a clever place for the key, but yeah. Anyways, guys, I want to give a special thanks to the GMC Chevy Cadillac dealer here in Amman, Jordan. And a special thanks to Abu Khadr Automotive for letting me spend time with this GMC Yukon AT4. Anyways, guys, like, subscribe, and have a good one. Hopefully, I'll shoot a review of the GMC Denali Ultimate or the Cadillac Escalade. See ya.